Hello guys, welcome to another video of the Robert James Fischer series. In this video we're going to another game of the US Open in 1956. In the first round he won with black against Albert. In the second and third rounds he drew both games. And now we go to the fourth round in which he plays Peter Lapiken. Bobby Fischer is white. We're going to see how he plays with white for the first time. With black, he played the Sicilian 2 times. And let's see how he sets his pieces up. So the game starts with knight f3. And knight f3 is a very flexible approach. You're still not really committing to anything. You can maybe play d4, you can play c4, you can play a sort of Catalan setup, you can go for a King's Indian setup. So it's very flexible and you're not saying to black what you're going to do yet. And here black, Peter Lapiken plays knight f6 and Bobby Fischer plays g3, going for the King's Indian attack. Now what's so nice about the King's Indian attack is that, let's say if you start with d4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, and d6. This is a very standard King's Indian defense setup for black. So let's imagine this. Even if it's even good for black, why wouldn't it be good for white to do the same kind of setup with just one tempo more? So here we're actually arguing that with white we have the tempo more because we start the game, so it must be a good opening. So after going for the King's Indian, saying I want to fianchetto my bishop after this move, black goes for d5, knowing that after fianchettoing we should probably set up some kind of a wall here, that the bishop would be really facing a brick wall basically. So here Bobby Fischer plays bishop g2, bishop f5, a nice move, saying that I maybe want to play h6 later, put the bishop on h7 and have a lot of control over those files. And we're also attacking this file 3 times now, so maybe we want to jump with the knight later on. And here Bobby Fischer simply castles. So we've already castled, we've developed 2 pieces. Black still has to do at least 2 moves to castle, and we can already set up a nice attack. So here black plays e6, very standard, a very good move, setting up this brick wall and also opening up the way for the bishop to castle. And here Bobby Fischer plays d3, taking a little control over this square because it's attacked 3 times. And now black plays c6. And you can see what he is up to. He just made a very solid commitment, putting his pawns all on light squares, blocking the light squared bishop. And now Bobby Fischer says, okay, that's fine. I will break through this later on. Let me prepare with knight b to d2. And with the King's Indian attack, you actually want to play c4 or e4 later on to challenge the center. And now black, in my opinion, does something I'm not so fan of. He should probably develop his bishop to either d6 or c5 and then castle, or even to e7. But he plays knight a6. And with knight a6, well, you maybe want to go to c5 or c7. You're obviously limited by your own pawn, going for the normal development of c6. So yeah, you could have also gone to d7. It's a bit of a tricky move, not saying what you're going to do yet. So here Bobby Fischer plays the best move, which is a3. So if the knight comes to c5, you will play b4 with a tempo. And that's actually what black does. He plays knight c5, but Bobby doesn't play b4 here, which is yeah, it's just a free tempo in my opinion, playing b4. That way, if you play b4, we've just developed our queen side with tempo. Your knight has to move again. It just moved 3 times. So, and you still didn't castle yet. And we can bring this bishop to b2 and have it glancing all over the board, all the way to g7. So, but Bobby probably didn't like that. He prepared this opening and he played c4, which is a nice move. You're saying, okay, I've already castled, I developed my two knights and bishops, I want to develop this bishop later on. If you take, I take back with the knight, opening my bishop for itself. So taking wouldn't really be good at all. And here black plays a move which I don't really understand. He decides to play a b5. And it's a bit of a weird move because you still didn't castle when you're already challenging on the queen side. And you also weakened this pawn now. It's a backwards pawn, so no one is really defending it. You can only defend it with pieces now. So yeah, I don't really understand this move by Peter. So Bobby says, okay, he plays the second best move in the position. b4 is still the best move, but he plays knight d4, which is a really nice move. It has a double purpose. It's both attacking the c6 pawn and the f4, f5 bishop. So if we either take the bishop, you will get double pawns. If we take the pawn, you just lose a pawn. So black here actually has one good move, which is b takes c4. Well, why is it good? Because can we not just take the pawn? Well, if we take the pawn, we can play queen c8, attacking the knight. You have to come back. And now we can even go c takes d3. You shouldn't really take. You should probably take the bishop first. E takes f5. And now e takes d3. And we also shattered those pawns. We have two very weak pawns in white's camp now. So that would have been a better option. And also, this knight can come to e4 with the other knight defending it. So it would be a really nice square for the knight. Black didn't go for that variant. He just played queen d7 straight away, which is pretty logical, honestly. Like, you're just defending your c6 square pawn. And now knight to f5, taking the bishop. E takes f5. And now you can see that black's pawns are doubled. This pawn is very weak. If you take, then we will have a monster bishop. So yeah, you're in a bit of a trouble. You should still develop your bishop to castle. So you can see how important it is to castle very early on. But now Bobby Fischer plays knight b3, which honestly the position is still screaming for b4. But knight to b3 is not a bad move, simply challenging the knight. And now black goes for a move which I don't really understand. Like, yeah, he just plays h6. But here you should actually either bring the knight back or take the knight and then go for a development of the bishop. But black says, yeah, I probably want to play h6 to prevent the bishop coming through g5. So let me do that. h6. And now Bobby Fischer plays the best move in the position, bishop e3. Developing the bishop, saying, okay, I cannot develop this way. This would be passive. Now I'm challenging the knight twice. And if you take my knight on b3, I'm simply developing my queen. So now, yes, you still have to take the knight to develop your bishop. But black decides to keep his knight and go back to e6. And now Bobby Fischer plays a really nice move, knight d4, still saying, okay, you can trade, but if you trade it would be bad because now my bishop is even more active. We can even triple those pawns. So black's like, nah, I don't really want to take it, but my f5 pawn is very weak. I have to defend it somehow. Let me play g6. And this is basically terrible because you're both creating a weakness on h6 and you're giving white more time to develop. And you still didn't develop your bishop and castle. So after g6, Bobby Fischer says, okay, now we're also bringing in the queen b3. And now black plays a terrible move. He should go for this idea, taking the pawn, taking it back, and simply exchange here. Try to bring in the bishop and castle. But he plays rook b8. And why is rook b8 so bad? Well, pause the video here and try to find the amazing move of Robert James Fischer. Well, the best move here, and it's the only great move in the position, is sacrificing the knight. Knight takes c6. Why is this so amazing? You cannot go for this idea, because if you take, we simply take, and this would be terrible. You have to defend with the queen, and you just lost the rook for nothing. So if black takes back, which actually happened in the position, we play c takes d5. Now we have a fork. You have to do something about it. If you move away the queen, we'll simply take the knight. So black's like, oh, okay, now I have to do something. I'm still a piece up. Let me play a knight c5, attacking your queen. And here taking would be really bad, because if you take, I'll take back, and now the rook is under attack. We have to probably bring the rook to d1, and we can simply develop the bishop, defending this square, and black's simply better. So taking it is not good. Bobby Fischer plays the best move in the position, which is queen to c3. Why is this so good? Your queen is still under attack. I have a double attack on your knight, and I can even bring my queen to e5 with check later on. And you have to defend both pieces, right? So, okay, Peter is in a lot of trouble here. He doesn't really have a good move, and he plays queen to d6. But by playing queen to d6, we can actually take the knight on c5. You have to take back with the queen. And now we can take this knight on f6. And this is the moment where Peter Lapiken decided to resign. Why? Well, if you try to save the rook, we can simply go queen a5, e5 check, attacking both the king and the rook. You cannot save both. So that would be terrible. And you don't really have anything here. If you decide to attack, we can simply take that rook. You cannot exchange the queens. So it's a hopeless position for black. And he was like, okay, let me resign here. In only 19 moves, Bobby Fischer showed this brilliance by beating Peter Lapiken in the US Open. Especially the move knight takes c6 is beautiful. Simply seeing this at the age of 13, knowing that after taking, we can take back and have this very nice pressure. It's just amazing. And this game is also showing why you should really focus on castling before doing all this stuff with your pawns and developing the rook and dancing with your knights. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.